program. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our program. And now I would like to present the star of our program, Don Wilson.
What do you mean, I'm the star of the show?
Don, I have a surprise for you. This is an anniversary.
An anniversary?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks the 27th anniversary of the day that Don Wilson came to work with me. So take a bow. 27 years. And Don, I want to tell you that in your honor, we are devoting the entire program to you. And when I say we, I mean the cast. I mean, this is your day. I mean, your slightest wish will be our command. And Don, we're going to... Don, you're crying.
See, I can't help it, Jack.
The way those tears are running down your chins, it looks like your ear. Looks like he's irrigating something. Don, please, stop sniffling.
Well, I think I'm all right now, Jack.
Yeah.
I just can't help getting a little emotional when I realize you've been with me for 27 years.
No, Don, you got that wrong. No, I haven't been with you. You've been with me for 27 years. You've been with me.
To think, when I came on this show, it was down, but because of my personality...
Down!
Because of my personality and showmanship, I raised it to the pinnacle of success.
Wait a minute, Don. Now, wait a minute.
It wasn't easy, and there were a lot of setbacks. But every time the show was down, I brought it...
Wait a minute, Don. The show was not down. It was never down. So stop making things up. Anyway, I'm not going to argue with you because this is your day. Open the curtains, will you please?
Jack, a throne?
Yes, Don. This is your seat of honor. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Don. Wait a minute before you go over there. Oh, gentlemen, will you bring everything in, please?
Oh, Jack.
Here you are, Don. There's the scepter. And here's the crown. There you are. See how it looks. Let's see. I think you ought to tilt it a little bit. You look like Humpty Dumpty. There you are. Now, you see, you look sporty now.
Jack, do I have to wear this crown? It's heavy.
Yes, Don, you have to wear it and this robe all through the show. Yes, sir, Don. Okay. Now, wait a minute. Wait. Music, please.
Too heavy?
Don, the weight that broke this throne didn't come from your head, believe me. Don, will you help me lift King Arthur in his round stomach? Right up. That's it. Now just put something in there so he can sit down.
Jack, I'm terribly sorry.
That's all right, Don. It wasn't your fault. Now, just sit down. It's right here. Now, Don, we have some beautiful gifts for you. For another surprise, I know how much you love fishing, so we have a very beautiful rod and reel for you right here.
Oh, Jack.
And for your hunting trips, a lovely shotgun right here.
Oh, Jack. This is beautiful.
And Don, I heard that every Saturday you go to the J&M riding stables and you rent a horse because you like to go riding.
That's right, Jack. I ride for 3 or 4 hours every week.
Well, Don, you'll never have to go to the J&M stables anymore. The horse you rented, we bought that horse for you.
No.
And it's your own. You'll be able to ride him as much as you want.
Oh.
Your own horse. Will you bring on Don's horse, please? Now, Don, that's your own horse now, and you can ride him 7 days a week. Don, Your Majesty, I have another surprise for you. The quartet that you discovered and introduced on my program 17 years ago is here to pay tribute to you tonight. The Sportsman Quartet.
Down yonder, someone beckons to me. Down yonder, that's where I want to be. I seem to see a race in memory between the Natchez and the Robert E. Lee. On each shore, I miss you more and more. Every day, my sunny land, your sympathy grant. Don Wilson is the comedy king. He thinks that he's funny doing any old thing. He's thick in the middle, just like a bass fiddle. Hail to his majesty, King Don Wilson. There's no one around, sir, like our fan announcer. So hail to Don Wilson, our king.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, I guess many of you didn't realize that when I first started on radio that I did not have an announcer, you see. And when Don first came with me, well, I'm getting ahead of my story. You see, 27 years ago, when I started on commercial radio, my first sponsor was the Universal Corset Company. And I remember their slogan, "Gather unto you what is yours." Well, anyway, after I had been on this program for 10 or 12 weeks, the sponsor called me and said it was very important. He wanted to see me. So I rushed down to his office. Mr. Willoughby?
Huh? Oh, yes. Yes.
How do you do? You remember me, I'm Jack Benny. You said you wanted to see me?
Oh, yes. Now, I hate to bother an artist of your caliber, but you know, something strange has happened since you've been broadcasting for... Oh, very strange.
Very strange. What's that?
We've been losing money.
Losing money? I can't understand that. My shows have been very...
Oh, I'm not arguing. Oh, no, your shows have been just... But, you know, we think it'll help if you stick to comedy and let somebody else do the commercials.
Well, I thought I did the commercials very, very well.
Well, all I know is that we've been selling corsets for 15 years, and this is the first time the company is feeling the pinch. Feeling the pinch. Isn't that cute? Yes, so I thought I wanted to have you here today so that we could audition the announcers. And the announcers are outside.
Say, you know, you might have something there. If I had an announcer that would do the commercial and somebody I could talk to.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
May I have a pencil and piece? I'll write something.
Of course you may.
I'll write something.
There you are.
Fine,
Yes.
fine.
You're going to write some comments?
Yes, I'll write some jokes in there. So.
Oh, I'm laughing already. Yes, that's it. Oh, say, this man is going to be wonderful. He's going to do a wonderful job for you, Mr. Benny. You'll find out. He'll just...
How do you do? I'm Roy Rowan.
Rowan. Oh, say that. Are you ready, Jack?
Just in 1 second. There we are.
Mr. Rowan, this is Jack Benny.
How do you do, sir?
How do you do, Mr.
Nice to
Rowan?
meet you.
Now, Mr. Rowan, I've written something here on this piece of paper for an announcer, and I want you to read it. Now, don't be nervous. Just read it out nice and straight, like an announcer would read.
All right.
Okay.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Universal Corset Company presents the star of our show, that scintillating, dynamic personality, Jack Benny.
Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking. And a funny thing happened to me on the way to the studio.
What happened?
Well, I was walking down the street, and I passed a 17-story building, and a fellow fell from the top and fell right down to the ground. So a policeman walked over to him and said, "What happened here?" And the fellow said, "I don't know. I just got here myself."
What happened after that, Mr. Benny?
Pardon?
What happened after that?
Oh, well, then after that, I kept walking down the street, and a panhandler stopped me.
Panhandler stopped you?
Yes, and he said, "Gee, I haven't had a bite in over a week, you see." So I bit him.
And what did you do after that?
Oh, this is fine. You don't have to read me more. Just wonderful.
Oh, say,
Just fine.
Wasn't he nice?
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, say, this boy's good, boy.
Yes.
Now, you just wait out there, and we'll call you.
Mr. Willoughby, he was awfully good. I mean, such beautiful diction. He was wonderful, yes.
Now, say, would you send in the next gentleman, please? Wasn't he nice?
Oh, he was just
he was
great.
commercial.
Oh, yes.
How do you do? I'm Bill Baldwin.
Bull? Oh, how do you... I just have a neighbor named Bull. Oh, this is Jack Benny, Mr. Bull.
How do you do, Mr. Benny?
How do you do, Mr. Baldwin? Now, Mr. Baldwin, I've written something here for an announcer. I just want you to read exactly what's written. You know, just speak out.
Yes.
Don't be nervous or anything.
Fine.
Okay.
Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Universal Corset Company presents the star of our show, that scintillating, dynamic personality, Jack Benny.
Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking. And a funny thing happened to me on the way to the studio.
What happened?
Well, I was walking down the street, and I passed a 17-story building, you see, and a fella jumped off from the top and fell down to the ground. And a cop walked over and said, "What happened here?" And the fella said, "I don't know. I just got here myself."
And what happened after that, Mr. Benny?
Well, then I kept walking down the street, you see, and a panhandler stopped me, and the panhandler said...
A panhandler stopped
yes,
you?
the panhandler stopped me, excuse me. And he said, "Gee, I haven't had a bite in over a week." So I bit him.
And what did you do after that?
Fine, that's fine. That's all.
That's fine.
That's wonderful.
Oh, he's nice.
Oh, very
right.
good.
It's real nice out there, the chairs.
Thank you very much.
I could use any one of those two.
They were nice. Now, wait a minute. Now, if there's anybody else out there, would you send them in, please? Thank you. Oh, they were nice. They were. Wait a minute.
How do you do?
How do you do? And your name, may I?
Don Wilson.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Yeah, well, how do you do, Mr. Wilson? This is Jack Benny, Mr. Wilson.
How do you do?
How do you do, Mr. Wilson? Now, Mr. Wilson, I just want you to read here what's on this paper.
That paper?
Yes, it's something I just wrote. Now, just read it, and don't be nervous. Just read what's on this paper, yeah.
Well, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, the Universal Corset Company presents the star of our show, that scintillating, dynamic personality, Jack Benny.
Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking, and a funny thing happened to me on the way to the studio.
What happened?
Well, I was walking down the street. I passed a 17-story building, and a fella fell from the top of the building down to the ground, you see. And a policeman came over to him and said, He said, what happened here? The fellow said, I don't know. I just got here myself.
What happened after that, Mr. Petty?
Well, then I kept walking down the street to see further, and a panhandler stopped me.
The panhandler stopped you?
Yeah. And he said to me, he says, I haven't had a bite in over a week, so I bit him. That's enough. You're hired. The guy I want, Mr. Willoughby. He's hired.
What for?
To be my announcer.
I'm no announcer.
Well, then what did you come in here for?
I came in here to complain about one of your corsets.
Why? Doesn't your wife like it?
No, she says it still makes me look sloppy.
Well, whether you like it or not, you are going to be my announcer from now on. Don protested, but I assured him that I could make him into a great announcer. I explained that there was work to be done, but he shouldn't worry about it and just leave everything to me. The first thing I did was to take him to an elocution school.
Now, Mr. Wilson, let's try it one more time. Ready? And...
A with the U is A-U, A-U. D with the U is D-U, D-U. U-D, U-D, U-A, U-A. G with the U is G-U, G-U. E with the U is E-U, E-U. A-U, E-U, G-U, D-U.
There you are, Mr. Benny. What do you think of that?
P with a U is P-U.
Perhaps you should try it with pebbles in his mouth.
It might help. Pebbles?
Take a mouthful of these, please. Now, Mr. Wilson. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Peter Piper picked a peck of peppers.
Don continued elocution lessons, even though he shot 3 teachers. Don's voice improved immensely, but because of his size, his movements were very awkward. So to give him poise, I enrolled him in Sergei Finsky's dancing school.
Oh, Mr. Benny. Mr. Benny. Hello, Mr. Benny.
Well, Sergei Finsky. How is Don Wilson coming along with his dancing
Oh,
lessons?
fine. You know, Mr. Benny, I would say that Don is about the best ballet pupil I ever had.
Ballet? But I brought him here just to teach him a little poise and something. Ballet? Was that a...
Well, Mr. Benny, you brought him in here to cure his awkwardness. And believe me, learning ballet is the very best way to cure it.
I know, but ballet, I can't imagine Don, doing ballet. I mean, this, I don't know, I've got to see this.
Well, I had a little difficulty with him at first, you know. But now, Mr. Benny, now he's coming along beautifully, really beautifully.
But ballet, well, I don't know, I've got to see this.
Well, you can. He's just about to give his lesson, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Benny, please, don't let him know that you are here. It might confuse him, you know. He won't come out.
He'll be embarrassed.
He'll be
I
embarrassed.
see, yeah.
Now, would you mind, please?
Where can I hide?
Let's get over there.
Behind the
curtain.
curtain.
Yes,
Okay.
behind that curtain. That's right. Now, Mr. Benny, I have to explain to you one thing.
Right.
Every ballet has a little story.
Yes, I know.
And this one has a lovely story about a dying hibiscus.
And ballet is the dying hibiscus? I see.
Will you excuse me?
Yes, yes.
You? Donald, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
I'll give you the musical introduction.
Gentlemen, that's the story of how I found Don Wilson. Now, Don, we had a lot of fun at your expense. See? But now I have another surprise for you that you'll be very, very proud of. Now, this gentleman flew here all the way from New York City just for this occasion. He's one of the most eminent personalities in the field of television, Mr. John Daly.
On behalf of the radio and television industry, it gives me great pleasure to present you this plaque. I should like to read the inscription. To Don Wilson, in recognition of 27 years of achievement in the field of radio and television broadcasting. A man who at all times exemplified the highest standards and good taste. A man whose diligent pursuit of his chosen profession has reflected credit on the entire industry. His achievements are especially noteworthy when you consider that he came to the Jack Benny program when it was down, and he raised the standard.
Wait a minute. We're not going through that. My show was not down. My show was never down.
Jack, what are you talking about? It was down.
It was not.
I thought it was down.
You keep out of this. My show was not down.
It was too down, Jack. Now, I earned that plaque and I want it.
Oh, you want it, hey?
Yes.
All right, brother. You're going to get it. This is the last time I'll ever honor anybody on my show. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, and I do hope you enjoyed the show. Now, it is true that Don Wilson has been with me 27 years, and he'll probably be with me another 27 years. That is, if he honors a legal document. Well, not a contract. You see, I adopted him. Well, that's it for tonight, folks.